Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
A political spectacle is unfolding in Rajasthan. Ashok Gehlot and his supporters are on dharna at the governor's house demanding an immediate trust vote. This after Sachin Pilot got a shot in the arm after a High Court order upholding the status quo. In other words, Sachin Pilot and rebel MLAs, 18 in number, will not be disqualified, at least for now. Pilot's team has argued that challenging the leadership of a party is not the same as defecting to another party. Pilot continues to maintain that he remains thus a member of the Congress party, though he's been sacked as Deputy Chief Minister, and his party has taken a very different position. To make sense of what's happening and the larger politics that this episode represents, on the program today, Tehseen Poonawalla, Congress supporter, Sanjay Jha, a commentator and recently sacked Congress member, Dr. Geeta Bhatt, professor and right-wing ideologue, and Professor Neera Chandok, who's one of our most eminent political analysts and scientists. I'll start with you, Tehseen. This tamasha that is going on at the governor's residence, even as a Congress supporter, do you support it? Do you not think that Gehlot is betraying anxiety? And the anxiety that he's betraying is the longer he waits, the slimmer his chances of controlling the legislators.
Barkha, I have a lot of respect for you, and I'm surprised that you use the word the word tamasha. Is tamasha that
all of our politics is a tamasha? That comment is across parties. It's not about the Congress alone.
Yeah, but you know, tamasha is when Amit Shah uses state agencies to raid CBI and ED, and that's called Chanakya Niti. Tamasha is when a Supreme Court settles judgment on what is simply a notice by the speaker and the court cannot intervene is actually stayed by the High Court, and the Supreme Court is actually now giving time to that whole matter to Monday, and you know, the matter is delayed. Justice delayed is justice denied with respect to the majesty of the court, because nowadays people are being pulled up for contempt of court. Third thing, tamasha is when the settled principle in the Arunachal Pradesh judgment is that the governor has to act on the aid and advice of the cabinet, and if the cabinet wants to call a session, the speaker, the governor has to. This is a settled principle. Let me put the reverse, because there's Geeta ji and Sanjay now. Let's assume Mr. Modi wants to call a parliament session, and suddenly the speaker decides, I am not going to call, or sorry, the president decides I'm not going to call it. What would we say? We would say that's wrong because Mr. Modi is elected. Now, I'm just going to end by saying Sachin says he's a part of the Congress, which means the Congress is in a majority. I want to go to the floor of the House, pass a bill and show my majority. Sachin is saying is a part of me. Why is the governor intervening and giving him time? I simply don't get that. Is tamasha.
That last is a reasonable question. And Dr. Geeta Bhatt, I was putting that to Mukul Rohtagi, who's Sachin Pilot's lawyer, just minutes ago. And his argument was that the matter is now in the Supreme Court. Until the Supreme Court adjudicates on this larger matter, there cannot be a trust vote. But that could take days and weeks. And the fact is that it would be an open invitation to what we loosely call horse trading. Now, previously, we have the Karnataka example where the Supreme Court put a finite time within which a trust vote must happen. Do you not agree that we cannot have an open-ended situation? Gehlot should be allowed to prove on the floor of the House whether he has the support of his MLAs or not. How can we not support that?
Well, Barkhaji, you know, if we try to look into the, you know, legal entangles, because both the sides of the Congress party, they are trying to put forth their point of view, and their lawyers are going to, of course, speak for them. Yeah. But the fact remains is that, you know, as far as, of course, you're right that the amount of time it is going to take, things are going to become more complex. But as far as, you know, using muscle power or administrative power is to be considered, I think the Chief Minister is not one step behind from any other if that is happening. Because if you see, we have seen that how the BTP, the Bharatiya Tribal Party MLA, he has in fact released a video saying that how he has been, you know, held hostage, his car keys have been confiscated, and he's not being allowed to move out of the house. And that is one person who came out and spoke. We do not know with how many this kind of, you know, muscle power is being used in Rajasthan. So, but the major point is, Barkhaji, that I want to put forth is, I think this was for the first time I observed that most of the, you know, channels, in spite of asking for you know, panelists from the opposition parties, were actually looking for spokespersons from two sides of the Congress party on their for discussion. So I mean, there cannot be a bigger example to quote that.
Two sides of the Congress party is a funny but accurate way to describe, again, I'll say tamasha, Tehseen won't like it, the tamasha that we're seeing unfold. So let me get someone who might be considered the other side of the Congress party. Sanjay, quickly, now sacked. So, or like Sachin Pilot, are you going to continue to insist that even after being sacked, I'm a member of the Congress party?
Absolutely. I'm going to wait till I'm formally expelled, Barkha. There is a certain protocol and process. I have to wait for a show cause notice. But to answer your question, what is this current tamasha? And I'm going to borrow that term because you hit the nail on the head. It is a tamasha. This is a party that I have fought for relentlessly for over a decade. And it's so deeply unfortunate that when you're in the opposition, but you have a government in the state, which is frankly a big state to have, along with Madhya Pradesh some time ago, you have committed harakiri. This is, for a change, while it's true that the BJP is fishing in troubled waters, but that's what politics is. I asked this of a lot of my friends in the Congress, that if we were in BJP's boots today, we would do exactly what the BJP is doing currently in Rajasthan. This is the competitive, cutthroat world of real politics. So the truth of the matter, Barkha, is this is a political harakiri done by Mr. Gehlot's government. I believe Mr. Gehlot, when he made those extremely pathetic comments on, his English speaking and elitist sound bites, and the fact that he's a good-looking, I don't know what's the right term, he used, a baby-faced boy, he reduced it to an extremely pedestrian, personal level of attack. There are no comebacks after that. But I do believe that with the Rajasthan High Court and the Supreme Court likely to give their verdicts on Monday, the panic from Mr. Ashok Gehlot's camp is an exhibition of the distress level at that level.
Okay, now let me just get Professor Neera Chandok. And ma'am, as I ask my question, I'm going to request you to unmute yourself. You're muted at your end. The question is this, that, actually this is all about time. Because if Sachin Pilot does decide to vote in defiance of a whip on the floor of the House, even his lawyer concedes that then he could not argue that that's dissent. Once there is a whip on the floor of the House and he votes differently. But there are larger questions here. I've always said Rajasthan is the geography. What you're really seeing unfold is a crisis of leadership in the Congress party. And I think someone made the point here that nobody's really emerging smelling of roses in this. Neither Gehlot nor Sachin nor the BJP. We're seeing realpolitik play out here. What do you make of what's happening, Neera?
I think it's time to sing the requiem of parliamentary democracy. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
This is a tragedy, or Greek tragedy of epic proportions. And in a Greek epic, nobody wins and nobody loses. What we are seeing is an unholy obsession with power on the part of the BJP. And the Congress is reduced to a few egos at the top. There is nothing left in that party. We all had hopes. I wrote about it saying, guys, you owe us. We have been voting for you. You owe the country. But they cannot get over their individual egos. And the most shocking aspect is sidelining the young people who are dynamic, who could possibly give a new face to this party in favor of discredited politician. BJP is discredited. I'm no fan of the BJP. But the Congress, by sidelining young people, Sanjay Jha is the latest. But there's also Sachin Pilot who did so much work for them. Now, there are people in Karnataka young Rajiv Gowda, who's been sidelined for a 77-year-old man to enter the Rajya Sabha. What is the Congress coming to? We are not interested in this party. This is not the party we learned and we taught and we thought about. So this is a requiem for parliamentary democracy, this unholy obsession with power. It's not a tamasha, it's a tragedy.
All right,
we have to say goodbye.
Very strongly said there. I think Neera Chandok mincing
fed
your
up.
words.
Yeah, I'm fed up with these guys, all of them.
I think you speak for many.
And Sanjay, you should stay on in the party and do something about it instead of waiting to be expelled. Get a new party. Do something, you guys. And Mr. Poonawalla should join you. Instead of defending all these people who become completely, we have no confidence in them.
All right,
Neera, I hear you. Neera, I hear you. And I promise you that we won't let you down.
Okay, Tehseen,
Please,
take that.
don't.
Tehseen, take that, and then Geeta.
Become
back.
irrelevant.
No, let me just address a lot of things because there have been three different people who
Yeah.
have said something opposite. Dr. Neera, I have a lot of respect for her, but you know when Dr. Neera says the old should be discarded, by that same logic, Barka, if I was to come on a show, you'd call me absurd and doing a tamasha on your show. I'd say Mr. Modi should be discarded because he's 1 year older than Ashok Gehlot, and somebody young like, for
He's
example,
winning
Sambit Patra.
elections.
Please,
He's winning
may I please make my
elections.
point?
He is
May I please
winning
make my point?
elections. The Congress does not have a Congress president right now.
I understand,
The
Barka. I would
Congress
make my point.
the Congress party does not have a Congress president right now.
Barka,
The
I
main
understand.
opposition party of this country does not have a full-time party president because
Barka, I
it's
completely
de
understand.
facto
You have to allow me.
One second, because its de facto president is sulking. His de facto
Barka,
president
it's
is sulking, and his mother is
Barka,
the interim party president. Have you
fair
seen
enough.
a more absurd situation than that?
Okay. Now, please,
Go
may I
ahead.
make my point?
Yes.
It's 4 versus 1 now. Please.
No,
So I'm
no,
going to repeat
it's-
my point.
Okay.
No, please. I'm going to repeat my point.
Okay.
I coming on a show be as absurd as seeing Mr. Modi, who's winning an election, in your words, should be discarded for somebody like Sambit Patra, who's not a mass leader, just like Mr. Gehlot should be discarded for somebody like, say, Sanjay Jha. Now, here's the argument to it. Hear me out.
Don't
Mr.
vulgarize
Gehlot,
the argument.
may I please? This is so unfair. I heard everybody, I gave everybody
Okay,
respect.
chalo,
Don't put
chalo.
the face, let's not put the hands down.
go
Even
on,
I can
don't
be
put the-
condescending. Even I can be condescending. Let me have my point of view. We all believe in
Acha,
democracy. Come
Tehseen.
on. Yeah. Now, Dr. Gehlot, I was in Rajasthan, addressed more meetings in 2018 during the election than Sachin Pilot. Now to quote Dr. Neera, a disgraced politician, I'm quoting her, is Ashok Gehlot disgraced? You know, Barka, how hard he works. He's a man who's been on the ground. And even today, right now, sitting in the Raj Bhavan, he has a majority of the MLAs. Let's put the reverse situation. Let me end here. Let's put the reverse situation where Mr. Gehlot had less MLAs and Sachin Pilot would have been put.
Okay.
You would have told Barka, why is the High Command not listening to the majority? The majority is with Mr. Gehlot.
Okay, Tehseen, calm down. Now, let me get Geeta, and then Sanjay and Neera can come back to the conversation. Geeta, one of the important points that you yourself made, कि अगर ये टक्कर है तो ये बराबर की टक्कर है. Both sides of the Congress, as you called it, a helpful phrase, here are not coming out smelling of roses. According to me, both Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot have displayed strengths and weaknesses. Both of them have. Mr. Gehlot using nikamma, nikara, this kind of language betrays weakness. Sachin Pilot still talking to Priyanka Gandhi till the last moment betrays weakness. So there are strengths and weaknesses on both sides. But the BJP has a Vasundhara Raje factor, said to be secretly wanting the Gehlot government to continue. You have a problem too, or your side, the side you support, has a problem too.
Well, you see, when how I see it, Barkhaji, is that the internal, the conflicts which are happening within the Congress party, especially with reference to Rajasthan, if you look at it, you will see that whenever there is, the most easiest thing to do for Congress at this time is to talk about conspiracy theories, because and try to point fingers towards any other opposition party, because that is what suits them.
But what
the
about
fact
Vasundhara
remains,
Raje?
It is.
What about Vasundhara Raje?
No. See, I cannot speak for Vasundhara Raje, but the fact remains is that it is something of a that to decide whether it is a dissent or whether it is a dissidence. Now, within the Congress party, some of the MLAs are saying that no, it is a dissent to the top leadership of the chief minister. We don't want him. It is not that we want to be out of the party, but the party is imposing on them that no, you do not want to stay in the party. I mean, just look at this. So somewhere it is the internal democracy, and it seems that there is no vibe to
Congress. We are all lashing. Congress, we are all lashing out. But what about Vasundhara Raje Scindia?
You see, as a opposition leader, she can have her viewpoint, and she can have her point of view of looking at things. Now, it can be, some people are trying to put forth what you are saying, but how much is truth in it? It is very difficult. You see, these kind of stories, they do propel at such a time when the state is in such a crisis, and especially with the COVID cases happening. All those who are representatives of the people, they are sitting in 5-star plus hotels, watching movies, and not serving their own people.
Let me bring in Sanjay now, and then Neera Chandok. Sanjay, but there is something to be argued for the fact It's not about old and new. I think everybody's making the point that, there has to be a second generation that must be given space. But there is a certain perception of the second generation of the Congress being entitled, being the Khan market politician, being the urbanite, also being the dynast. That when you make an argument against the Gandhis controlling the party, so is Sachin Pilot a dynast, so is Jyotiraditya Scindia a dynast. So how are you going to wrap your head around that one?
Well, Barkha, I do believe that having a political ambition is not a crime. And this whole concept, I thought Ashok Gehlot's statements about English speaking and urban and so on told me of the crisis that the Congress party is actually facing. I think Neera's anguish or angst at the decline of the Congress, just when you need the Congress to actually take on the authoritarian might of the Modi government, which is very sectarian. Everybody knows that. Constitutional democracy is under threat. We are extremely susceptible as a country. This is the time for the Congress to have fought back. I do believe that today, if I'm an English speaking, I live in Mumbai, I'm a member of a private club, I don't see that as a political liability. Why should it be? As long as my contribution in whatever I'm supposed to do is exceptional, I am an asset to any party I go to. Now, where Sachin Pilot is concerned, Tehseen keeps giving this example of how many meetings Mr. Gehlot held during the time of the election. But my dear friend, find out who fought for the Congress party between 2013 to 18 for 5 years. He traveled 5.5 lakh kilometers. And let me tell you, Barkha, very pertinent, 2 points, very quickly. 2013, Ashok Gehlot had reduced the Congress party to 21 seats. Sachin Pilot brings it to 100. The second reason given by the Congress traditional supporters that Mr. Gehlot has the support of the legislators, even that is flawed. He was selected by the Congress leadership in Delhi. Obviously, the legislators will back him because the High Command is yes. It should have been the other way around.
But the fact also
can I rebut it?
Just we'll park it and you can rebut it.
Just rebut it, yeah.
Okay, just hold on for 1 second. Neera Chandok, you said that the party is giving weightage to discredited politicians, to which Mr. Poonawalla said, why do you see Ashok Gehlot as discredited? Now, politics in the real sense, sadly, is a numbers game. The person who wins the trust vote is going to be the next chief minister of Rajasthan. That's the truth of it, right? If Mr. Gehlot is able to keep a firmer grip on the legislators than Sachin Pilot, can you argue against that? Would you still be as disillusioned as you sound, Neera?
No, I didn't say disgraced, I said discredited. And I'm a political scientist. I don't reduce it to age. I'm talking about the fact that Congress party needs to reinvent itself. And maybe in the younger generation, we will see a reinvention, which the older generation has not shown us. They have lost 2 general elections, for God's sake. Now, in a way, you have not improved. So it's time for younger people to come on. Obviously, there is no channel of communication to absorb the energy of the young. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about age. In that case, most of us would be irrelevant. The point is that we are talking about the inability of a party to hold its flock together. And it just shows the predominance of egos. The second part, first year political science honors in Delhi University, I was taught the will of the people has to be honored. Parties keep saying people all the time. Now people have voted a particular party into power. Why after 2 years are they being dislodged? And I refuse to believe there was not a trigger to dislodge them. And where the trigger came from, whether money or positions of power, we all know too well. And this unhealthy obsession with power, I am talking about the BJP. They have a very unhealthy obsession with power. And believe me, if you know history, in the rest of the global south, wherever there has been a one-party rule, a military coup has not been far behind. For God's sake, guys, save us from a one-party rule. We don't want to be subject.
Okay.
And don't quote Indira Gandhi to me, please. I mean, that party has paid for it.
Okay, Geeta has a hand up, and maybe you're being alarmist, because if there's a one-party rule, it's the failure of the other parties. I mean, you have to have a narrative. Mr. Gandhi, Mr. Gandhi is doing video series, Tehseen, instead of hitting the streets. Why isn't he in Jaipur? Okay, Tehseen and then Geeta. Tehseen and then Geeta. Yeah.
So couple of quick points. I'm glad that Sanjay conceded that Mr. Gehlot in 2018 campaigned more than Sachin. Now what Mr. Sanjay should also concede was, no, you did concede, and I concede that Sachin worked very, very hard. There is no doubt. which is why he was made Deputy Chief Minister. Now, Barkha, data can always be looked at two ways. You're somebody who's worked with data. I can say that the people who Sachin allotted tickets to lost, the people who Mr. Gehlot allotted tickets to won. Therefore, Mr. Gehlot won. Mr. Gehlot had better experience. I can say that. I can put data this way, that the Congress was expected to get 130, 140 seats. I was in Rajasthan, but I ended up getting 100 because Sachin supporters lost. There's a lot of way data can be interpreted. Let's not get into that data. Second thing, when Dr. Neera says, trigger to dislodge the majority, the will of the people, I completely agree and concede that point that she's saying. She's senior. Then the will of the people and the will of the MLAs was also Ashok Gehlot. How does she contradict her own argument in saying that the party should have asked Ashok Gehlot to go, even when today he enjoys the majority of the MLA support? This just doesn't add up. Why is Sachin Pilot in a resort protected by the Haryana police as personal security officers? That's the question that needs to be answered.
Okay,
Barkha, one quick point.
okay. 1 minute. Geeta, you should take that. You should take that, because the point is, 2 points were made. I know you want to respond to Professor Neera Chandok's point about the one-party rule, and add that to Tehseen Poonawala's question, the sense that if Mr. Gehlot is not betraying confidence, nor is Sachin Pilot. Everybody is actually fighting the lure of money and power to try and keep their MLAs in one place or the other. Geeta, take that, and then Sanjay, and then I really have to start taking last comments. Geeta, go ahead.
Well, yes, Barkhaji, it is very unfortunate, but to some extent, yes, that is what the reality is there, and that is what we somehow need to fight when. And while Neeraji, I respect her a lot, since she is from University of Delhi and from the political science department also, and a very well-known political scientist, but the fact remains that the ruling party does not owe to the opposition to make them strong. It is for the opposition parties themselves that they have to.
I agree with that.
And I totally agree that for a strong democracy we need to have a strong opposition. I am totally in support of that. But who is going to do that? And also, one small point I want to make is that while there is a lot of talk about money and power, no one is mentioning that what about this 6 Bahujan Samaj Party MLAs who have been taken into Congress with some time back, while that itself is a very big question, and that is going to come up in a case, that how is it possible that 2 national parties, they will be merged together as per the 10th schedule, which is being quoted again and again, only if there is 2/3 of them come together, which has not happened.
So let's be blunt, Sanjay. Nobody comes out smelling of roses. Whether it is the 6 BSP MLAs who merged with the Congress, whether it is Mr. Gehlot who was able to form government by placing rebel Congress MLAs who were basically his men, or whether it's Sachin Pilot who's kept his MLAs locked away so that Mr. Gehlot can't reach them. This is politics. This is modern politics. We can all lament, but this is what's happening. Nobody is a saint in this story. Sanjay.
Well, Barkha, politics has always been a brutal winner takes it all contest. That's exactly what you're saying play out. Now, the tragedy for the Congress party is that whether it's Mr. Gehlot who becomes the chief minister winning a floor test, or Sachin Pilot gets a backing of maybe the BJP and other parties and becomes the chief minister, it's a Congress that is the loser. And I do believe that at a time when the country was expected by the secular, liberal, democratic community of this country to stand up and fortify and, essentially create a stronger bulwark against the BJP. The abject surrender in Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh, and now clearly, even if Mr. Gehlot is to win, Barkha, I will tell you, it will be a highly unstable government. And sooner or later, it will probably be destabilized because you can see the political cracks. So end of day, this is a tragedy for the Congress, to borrow the term from Neera. And it's a tragedy of alarming and very dangerous proportions for the country.
Okay, Professor Neera Chandok, and then Tehseen can have the last word. I do have to close. Professor Neera Chandok, I think that your exasperation is somebody who doesn't like the BJP and who's disappointed with the Congress. What does that say about the state of play in India? There is. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
One thing that liberal philosophers have always been suspicious of is majorities. And that is why we have constitutions, we have institutions, we have practices, we have conventions. The whole British government runs on conventions, a parliamentary system. Instead of strengthening these conventions, showing a healthy, between the individual and the state, there is nothing but institutions, associational life of civil society. Now, if this ruling party at the center is putting everybody in jail, particularly civil liberty activists, what are we going to do? We are completely vulnerable. We don't even have a political party system to represent us. Where does the individual go? I mean, I want all political parties to answer it. And believe me, to act as a defender of amoral politics is not what we are looking for. We are looking for legal and institutional restraints on raw power. Raw power is not a norm. It's an aberration. It needs to be controlled. That's all I have.
Okay, Tehseen, do you feel no disappointment as a Congress supporter? None? Like none? Zero?
I do, of course I do. I'd be lying if I don't. But when Sanjay says politics is always a brutal winner takes it all contest, he's implying that the rule of the jungle applies. And Dr. Neera says, no, we have a constitutional democracy. Now, where I'll go on the legal aspect. Where is my constitutional democracy when a settled law of the Supreme Court constitutional bench is, with due respect to the Honorable High Court, turned down by a High Court and you have to challenge it? Where is the rule of democracy or the rule of law when settled principles are being challenged again and again by those in government? At some point, we need to get up and say we have to fight for a larger cause, and that larger cause is our constitution.
Well, that larger cause lies in building a narrative that convinces the voting members of this country. Yeah. There is no escaping that, right? No matter how many high commands you create within a party, no matter how many galis you give to the BJP, seen as someone who doesn't like the BJP, in the end, politics and democracies is about winning elections. We'll have to leave it there.
I won in Rajasthan. I won in Madhya Pradesh.
Okay. You did, but it's also about running governments. It's also about keeping the majority. I'm going to have to leave it there. Dr. Geeta Bhatt, Professor Neera.
Thank you.
Sanjay Tehseen. Thank you. Pleasure talking to you.